Well, grounded in compassion and clarity, there's a new book out on shelves that's helping those who are dealing with addiction. It's called The Recovery Tool Belt, and it was written by Trent Carter. The Recovery Tool Belt is your essential guide for navigating the complexities of addiction, breaking down the stigmas that surround it, and building a life of purpose and resilience. So, joining us today to talk more about the Recovery Tool Belt, why he wrote it, and what he hopes people take away from reading it is the founder of Renew Health, Trent Carter. Trent, welcome back to the show. Good to have you here today.
Hey, thank you, sir. Happy to be here.
Congratulations on the book getting out there. This has been a labor of love for you, and now it's on the shelves for people, so congratulations to that.
Thank you.
I want to know about the Recovery Tool Belt. This is described as a comprehensive guide to addiction recovery.
Yep.
What inspired you to want to write something like this?
You know, so often I would have patients come in, or even just people talking about in the community, that they're just getting bits and pieces of help out there. I wanted to put something together that would all be in one place for somebody. I wanted to have something that someone could pick up and say, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can get through this. And so this book is full of options, and it's full of tools, and I think we did a good job at providing folks with that.
Your one-stop shop to recovery right here, guys. And the Recovery Tool Belt, it covers the gamut of recovery, because there's a lot of people that need to recover from a lot of different things. Let's talk about the strategies that you implement in the Recovery Tool Belt, because there's a lot of them. I want to know about which strategies you decided to implement in the book.
Well, I put the tools that work. You know, if it's not something that was consistently making change in real life, in practice, then those tools didn't make it to the book. So everything in there is proven to help folks out.
Yeah, absolutely. Proven things that work, guys, which is exactly what we want, right? I want to talk about the stigma now surrounding, addiction and maybe treatment. The book covers that. How is the book covering the stigma surrounding treatment for those who maybe are out there who need the recovery, and then they have people in their family? There's a stigma surrounding that as well. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with you. You're having to deal with this recovery thing. I don't want to be a part of that. How are you addressing that in this book?
So unfortunately, stigma can be probably one of the biggest barriers to getting treatment.
Right.
And so that's a passion of mine, is trying to destigmatize addiction. And so in the book, look, I address the fact that addiction is not a moral failure, okay? It is a disease, it's a chronic disease. And so I think if people can understand that these individuals, their brain is hijacked by something. Yeah. And if we can realize that and we can accept that, then we can truly make a change. And so I talk about that quite a bit in the book.
Yeah, and also this addiction, it doesn't have to be a life sentence either, right? People can feel so like there's no getting out of this. That's not the case. This is not a life sentence. There's ways to get you back on track. You're obviously doing great work with Renew Health. I want to know about the strategies, the principles in this book, and how you're implementing that into your practice.
Absolutely. So really the practice came first. The book came from the experience of what works in the practice: medication-assisted treatment, therapy that we do, harm reduction, education for either the patient, for their families, their support system. And so that's really what inspired the book, and that's what gave us these useful tools that have proven to work for hundreds and even thousands of individuals.
You've lived it. You're living it, and that's what you're going to get in this book, examples of that and strategies that are going to help. I want to know about maybe a strategy in particular paired with a real life story that you have seen, like where it's worked. It's like this strategy was used on this person and it worked in real life. Can you tell me a story about that?
Sure. So often it's a culmination of strategies. It's not just one approach, and that's where we really do try to tailor to the individual, try to meet them where they're at. And so, one person that comes to mind, we use medication-assisted treatment, which would be the medications that we use. We got them into therapy. A huge component for them was actually their family and educating their family to where they could better support them. And I'm proud to say that 2 years later, she's sober. She's been abstinent ever since. And now what's incredible is she's turned into a mentor for others. So she's given back. And so now it's that ripple effect of how she can help others that are where she was 2 or 3 years ago.
Man, that's absolutely fantastic to hear. Here's a question I have for you, because I think a lot of people deal with this. They have a family member who is dealing with addiction, and they've burned bridges, because it's true. People who deal with addiction oftentimes can find themselves burning bridges with their family members. What would you say to someone out there who has a family member that they want to support, but the bridge has been burned, but they want to be there for them, but there's this communication breakdown that has just caused this absolute headbutting? What would you say to that person who wants to help, but they don't know if they can?
Be patient. Set boundaries, healthy boundaries with your loved one that's struggling.
Right.
And look, you've got to show them that you're in fact going to be supportive. You've got to celebrate those small wins. Those little bitty wins stack up over time. And so often they don't need a lecture. They need to know, hey, I'm here for you. I understand that it may take a while, but you've got my support. And that can go a long ways.
Absolutely. Patience. That's the key word there, patience. And that can be easier said than done, but it makes a huge difference. The Recovery Tool Belt. This is on shelves. You can buy this online now. Talk to me about how we can get our hands on a copy.
It's everywhere. I think most people are probably just going to go to Amazon. You can Amazon the Recovery Tool Belt. There's obviously physical copies. We've got the Kindle. Here in a couple months, I plan on recording, and you can get it on Audible, but it's books.com. It's available everywhere.
Absolutely amazing stuff. The Recovery Tool Belt, your one-stop shop, guys, for everything recovery. Everything. It's a fantastic book. Congratulations on this, Trent.
Thank you.
You're doing such amazing work here in the state. We thank you for that, and just keep up the great work, man. You're killing it.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Guys, for more information on this entire interview, head over to krqe.com. Click on that New Mexico Living tab. Don't go anywhere. There's more New Mexico Living when we return.